Hello. I wanted to give my thoughts on the term Latinx because it seems to be growing, and it's not even just growing. It's just congressmen like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez who use the term Latinx. And honestly, Latinx is disrespectful. It's people in there's Latin Americans in America, that Latinos, there's Latinas, Latinos. They don't like the term. People in Latin America, they they don't like the term. Like, it's not used anywhere in Latin America. It's only used in America. It's a huge. It's just extremely disrespectful to the culture, and it's extremely disrespectful to the people, to the Latino community. It's Here's the thing. The language, it's very simple, really. You have masculine pronouns and you have feminine pronouns, okay? Yes, the whole thing about being Latinx is being inclusive, but not only is it's just unnecessary. You have the masculine and the feminine. You have O at the end for masculine. Latinos, nosotros, ellos, uh, stuff like that. Then you have the A at the end of words for feminine. Nosotras, ellas, Latinas, Latina. It's That's the way it works. Lo, la, los, las. It's O and then A. If you have a group of men, it's O. If you have a group of females, if you have a group of women, it's A. If you want to do a mixed group, let's say 50 men and 50 females, you want to include them all in there, it's O. That's how the language works. That's how the culture is. That's how the language works. It's just O's. It includes everyone. Look at them. Ellos. That would be a group of men and women. Nosotros. That'd be a group of men and women. Or it could also be a group of only men, but it's a group of men and women. You throw a whole bunch of women, all the women in the world, you put one man in there, and then it's O, because that's how it works. That's the language. Latinos already includes everyone, includes the females, includes everyone in that group, because there's at least one male man. Whenever you want to talk about the community, there's at least, you want to talk about all of Latinos, all of Latin America, there's at least one male. And you can't say there isn't a male in there. So it's Latinos. So it's just useless. Latinx is just useless. You're trying to change the entire language. And then to be inclusive, whenever the language already includes everyone, it already includes them. Saying Latinos, it already includes everyone. You want to be inclusive, and then you're just going to insult the culture. Just slap the language in the face. Say, we know better than you. Go look at Latin America. We know better than you, Latin America, even though we're not Latin. And even Latin Americans in America don't like this. We know better. No, no, no. That's not how it works. Latinx is disrespectful, and it's useless. It's useless. There's no point in just adding next at the end. There's no point in that. Okay? It doesn't make sense. It's just trying to create controversy. It's trying to create pushback. It's trying to do stuff that seems minuscule, trying to change the entire language just to win with simple things. You can't say certain things and then all of a sudden, oh man, you're evil for not saying Latinx. Well, you don't say Latinx and you're gonna be a sexist or transphobic or something like that. That's where it's gonna lead to. It's congressmen. I'm still gonna say congressman. I don't care if it's a woman or not, because congressman includes everyone. You're a congressman. That's what you are. A fireman. I don't have to look at a woman and say, you're a firewoman. It's, you're a fireman. Okay? Because that's just who you are. You could be a female fireman. You're a fireman. It's like the human race. It's not excluding the females. It's not excluding the trans. It's not excluding anyone. It's the human race. We're not going to go... We can't just go around and say Hugh people. Because Hugh person... The Hugh person race. The Hugh people race. No, it's human race. It's not excluding everyone. Latinos, it's not excluding. It's you're trying to fight these useless battles. It's because you can't find any real issues in America. In the United States of America, the US of A, there's no real issues for you to fight. There's already equality. So you gotta make stuff up. You gotta fight fake issues. You gotta fight a language just to insult people, just to spit in the face of the people, spit in the face of cultures, spit in the face of the language. Try to make it seem natural and normal. And while changing the language, you make it more confusing, and then it's easier to talk down to people who don't talk a specific way. There are actual conversations to be had. There are actual battles to fight. We can go and talk about humanitarian crisis in other countries. We can go talk about the inequality in other countries, because other countries, they actually have inequality. Other countries, they have gays being killed for being gay. Other countries, they have trans being killed for being trans. In other countries, they have minorities being killed for being minorities. In other countries, there are places where there is oppression. It is in America, but there are places where there is oppression. In America, we're so free that we have to fight for a fucked up word in order for us to feel like we're oppressed. And then when we get to America and we talk about, wanting to be inclusive and all that, well, you know what? There's actual conversations to be had. That wasting time on trying to make people use the word Latinx and trying to use that, we're wasting time that could be spent on talking about whether or not trans who take steroids, testosterone shots, should be able to play sports. The conversation of, if they can play sports, should they play with the females or the men, the female to male transitions? Or if they can play sports, what about the male to female transition? Where should they be able to play? These are actual conversations to be had. I've seen people talking about it, but I don't see enough people talking about it, because this is an actual problem in America that people just seem to be ignoring. It's just like a side conversation, even though there are lives being affected by it. Latino, I see people say Latinx and trying to spread around all this everywhere, and then it doesn't really affect the lives. It doesn't really change anything. It's just, an insult to the culture. And then there's something where it affects the lives of women, and it affects the lives of trans and all this other stuff, and we're not really talking about it. I see some people, but not a lot. There's actual conversations to be had, and we're wasting it on something as stupid as a word, a useless word.